Okay, welcome students. This is again Algebra 2 lesson number 20. We are working on continuing with the rational equations. The goal of this lesson is about let's write and solve some rational equations. So the main thing is idea is a student should be able to write rational expressions that represents averages to an answer to answer questions about the solution. Okay, the first activity is 21 is notice and wonder denominators and solution. Watch this. What do you notice here and what do you wonder? Now looking at this A, B, C, D, the first two, they look to be very similar. And you can see they both have the numerators. The numerators, that is, let me put a color for that. This one, this 2x plus 5, and this is also 2x plus 5. See? So those two pieces are the same. And this is 7x minus 5. This also 7x minus 5. So the numerator of A is also shows up in the B. Then x equals to is also given. What does that means is x equals to is the solution. If you plug this in each of this over here in these equations, you will see you end up getting 2 times uh, 2 plus 5 divided by 2. And let's check whether they really become equal. 7 times 2 minus 5 divided by 2. So you check this, you'll see this become 4, 4 plus 5. So let's check this one. If I plug in here, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 plus 5 is 9, and 9 divided by 2. On the other side, 7 times 2 is 14, and minus 5, again you get 9 by 2, so they are equal. So x equals 2 is the solution. And you can plug this in here also and check the top part. You will see both are 9, 9. If you plug this 2 right here and right here, it will become 9 equals 9. Then the C and D also, you'll see the numerators for the both these equations. I mean, the numerator in C is the same as this. The question is, and x equals 1 is the solution. You can plug it in and check 2 times 1 square plus 3 divided by 1 plus 2. So that will give you 2 plus, this will be 5 by 3. And if you plug it in here, it becomes 4 times 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 2. Again, you get 5 by 3. So x equals to 1 is the solution for the equation. Now, if you remember about the vertical asymptote that we learned long back, like for the first one, see this? These are rational equations because they have the numerator and the denominator, which are the polynomials. And the main thing is also it says the for the first one, if you see the denominator is just a x, and if I put x equals 0, it is undefined. So that is the vertical asymptote. So this is, if you remember, we did this, but we forget vertical asymptote. And in the problem number C, the vertical asymptote here, look at this two, this one, you can see the denominator becomes 0 when you have x plus 2 equals 0. So if you subtract 2 both sides, you get x equals minus 2. So that's this number, this value of x creates a problem. It makes the denominator 0. So that's the vertical asymptote for the denominator there. Okay, so let's now move to next activity. So this is just an idea. What is the meaning of rational equations? Okay, so sometimes B and C, even though they are either side they are polynomials, but If you see the D is the only one, you may wonder, D is the only one that has a, a linear, this is quadratic and this is linear. Okay, let's move to the next activity. Okay, so look at this. The school, the school art club at a large high school is in charge of designing a t-shirts, school t-shirts, and getting them printed this year. A local businessman charges $35 to say, can you put this into important information that this is like one time expenditure. What this means is one time expense. So that is to set up the printing machine, uh, set up that t-shirt printing machine with the design. So there has to be a logo on the t-shirt also, and 4.25 in materials per t-shirt to print. So per t-shirt is costing $4.25. So we can create an equation to represent the average cost CX in dollars per t-shirt if X t-shirts are printed by this business. So not difficult, we did this, but let's write down. So what it means is first step CX. So we have to write, I will write that total cost. So let's write down total cost is actually TX. I'll put this extra, which is not asked to you. So we can use the formula like a Y equals MX plus B, where B is like a down payment and then the slope. This is like every t-shirt. This means number of t-shirts kind of thing. So you know this from your Algebra 1 class, but how do we relate it to here? So what it got to do with this stuff here? So this B is like down y-intercept, which is in this case is the down payment or $35. So that's 35. And M is the rate of change. Every t-shirt is costing $4.25. Okay? And what does this X stands for is number of t-shirts to be printed. So basically we write total cost would be instead of Y, this Y here, the output, it represents the total cost of printing those t-shirts. So the formula becomes the plus 35 at the end. So I'll put $35 and then every t-shirt is $4.25 times the X. See how beautiful this is? Okay, so this equation represents the total cost. But in the problem, we want to know what's the average cost per t-shirt. So this is the total cost, but we need to know the average. So these words are very confusing. Watch this. This word. So this average cost, this is the important one. Average cost per t-shirt. So I'll put this in the real good information to write that the formula becomes CX. See, so per t-shirt basically means we will have to divide the whole thing by. So this stays the same for $1.25 and plus 35. So this is the total cost, and you divide this whole thing by X. Beautiful. Okay, so I hope this helps. So that's the creating modeling a real world scenario into mathematical equation called rational function. This is called a rational function. I want you to really understand what is rational function basically means. The numerators and the denominators both are polynomials. See? So even though the down one is just a monomial, but both are polynomials. The top one has two terms, which is a binomial. The bottom one is a monomial. And then you can see here, the question they're asking is, what is the question? So we are done with the first part is done. The second question I'll write here. The second question is asking, what is the average cost for 25 t-shirts? So what do we do here is, you just put in C equals, so C of 25, plug in this, and it will come 4 times 25 times 25. Last time I remember doing this graphically, but here they're asking you no graph directly. And then plus 35 and divided by 25 again. So with this one, we will try to use the calculator directly. Can you use you can use your phone calculator? Pull out your phone calculator, everyone. And so using the calculator, I think you should get around. Uh, Giselle, what did you get? 107? Oh, okay. Let me see. 100 plus 31, 35, 140. Anybody else? So if we work this out, so the answer turns out to be 5, 5.25. Did you get 5.25, you said, Desmond? 5.65. Okay, 5.65. And now let me wipe this off. And what about, they also ask you for 100. What do you get for 100? So this time, let's change this to, so take off this 25, replace this 25 by 100. So you put 100 here and you put 100 here. How much do you get? What do you get here? So if you see that because of this 100, the decimal will move 2 places to the right, and you get 1, adding 425 plus 35. 460 divided by 100. Do you get 4.6? Yes or no? Okay, so that's the more t-shirts you give for printing, the cost per t-shirt goes down. So last time it was 5 point something, and now it went down to 4.6, right? So what is the cheapest? What is the cheapest the average cost per t-shirt will get? Explain or show your reasoning. Okay, this is the important piece. So let me wipe this off. So this is the equation which is important. So okay, so this is the equation. The question is asked, what is, let me take a marker. What cheapest cost, how many t-shirts we need to buy should be ordered so that the cost will be the cheapest. The cheapest will go to what? So now if you see this, we can rewrite this equation and separate this. We can divide this x to the first one, 4.25 x divided by x plus 25 divided by x. Okay. So what that means is the x in the numerator and the denominator cross out. So we can cross out this x and this x cancel out. And what I left with is cx equals 4.25 plus 25 divided by x. And you can see this is a beautiful equation which is of the form y equals a over x minus h, the general or standard equation of rational function plus k, like this. So that means you can, in this case, that 25 over x, here x is the x which is in the denominator. You cannot have x equals to 0. It has to be something. But if x becomes a very large number, let's see, as X approaches. So these are the words I will write as X approaches very large positive number. Now in this case, it has to be a whole natural number. So in other words, this has to be natural numbers. Natural numbers means you cannot have a zero t-shirts. So it has to be one t-shirt or two t-shirt or three t-shirt and like that. 25 t-shirts or 100 t-shirts or 780 like that. The number goes on increasing, and you can see when you do this 25 divided by x, the this this ratio that you see will be almost approach to zero. So the larger number of t-shirts that we order, let's say our high school has got 2,400 students, I think, at this time. So if you order so much, you can see the number becomes so tiny there, very, very small. So what remains is, so as this expression approaches, you can see this expression now will approach Cx, the cost will be 4.25 plus 0. That means the cheapest will be 4.25. So the price of the t-shirt will not be exactly 4.25, but that's the lowest it can come is close to $4.25. Nice example of understanding how real life situation can be modeled into rational function. Now here, last time we have seen also that x equals to 0. See this, let me put the color for this. X, the denominator is, we say that x equals 0 is the vertical axis. See this piece? This is, so x equals, let me write it up here, x equals to 0 is a vertical asymptote. And this number, that k, if you compare to this standard form of rational equation function is the k is this k is $4.25. That means the y equals 4.25. This is horizontal asymptote. These are the two vocabulary words that we get confused. So I just want to make sure we understand. So that means that as X, as the number of t-shirts that you order is very large number, the the cost per t-shirt on an average goes low as 4.25. So try to make sense out of this. One more thing is to compare with the general rational function, that 25 that you see, that's like a stretching it's a vertical stretch actually. So A equals, so I will write here at the bottom, maybe, I don't know whether it allows me to go. Okay, so the A is 25 here, which is also called, which is greater than, this is a positive greater than 1. So it is a vertical, so the graph, the vertical stretch, this makes it like a vertical stretch by scale factor of 25. Okay, so even though they did not ask all these stories, they did not ask us about vertical asymptote, horizontal asymptote, and what is a vertical stretch and all that. But still, it's better to understand those little. And we go to the last part of the day. Let's go next to the uh, active 20.3. Oh, there was another question. Okay, there's one more question we have to see. Let's do that also. I'm going to clean this off, the whole thing. What's this? Okay. Now, there's one more question is asked. Look at this. Next question, how many t-shirts, do you have this on your paper? Yeah, right? Yeah, how many shirts should it be printed to have an average cost of 5 or less per t-shirt, right? So what you do is you put the equation. Okay, yeah. So let's put that equation because Cx was 425x plus 35 divided by x, right? So we want to know when is this going to be equal to 5. Let's put it equal to 5. And so this is called solving rational. This is called solving rational equations. Okay, so that means this is 5 over 1, so you can use a cross product here. So cross product this two, and you multiply the other one. See, so it means 1 times the whole thing will become 4.25x plus 35 equals 5x. Okay, now so first step is use cross product, and then after that you solve for x. So subtract 4 to 5x both sides because you need to get a variable on one side. So I'll take it to the right side. The reason is because 4.25 is smaller to 5. So we can subtract. When you subtract, this whole thing goes away and get 35 equals. And how much is 5? 5 means 500 and 4.25. And you can see if you subtract this, you end up getting 0. This become 4, then this become 10, then cross out 10, this become 9, then 10, and you can see you get 75 there. So this is 0.75. Right. And then you divide by 0. Now I want you to use your calculator to help me to find out what is this answer. Okay, everybody figure out what is this answer. So this will cross out and you get the x. Let me pause here. Okay, so it's good to know many of you nodded saying that you got your answer is 4.666, right? Oh, sorry, 40, sorry. It's 46.66. So we need to round it to the lower number, which is 46. So that way, we want to know the cost should not be, it says average cost should be 5 or less. So, so this is for you can't have 46.6. So that if you order 47, don't round it to 47. So you may say, why not 47? That will be make the cost per t-shirt more. So for you do the lower one, 46. So that will be like the cost will be 5 or less, right, Marin? I hope I made sense. Another application in real life is the batting averages. So many of you play baseball and softball. This is about a student. See that Tyler is on the school baseball team, and so far he has 24 base hits out of 110 at bats this year. So what is the current? So we'll take one at a time here. Okay, watch this. So, let me do quickly. We're almost there. Okay. I don't want to get too much time here. Okay, let's do that. So first question is very easy. Just find the current average. What is the meaning of batting average? It means it is the ratio. So he tried to hit 110. He bats 110 times, so 110, of which he gets 24 base hits. So the 24 goes up. So his batting average will be on your calculator. Plug it in and get the answer. So that's the batting average. Uh, Out of 110, he has 24 success, right? So if we do this, 24 divide by 110, do you get 0.218, something like this? Yes or no? Okay, so that's the average actually, the batting average. If you see the percentage wise, if you want to understand the percentage wise, it's like you move the decimal two places to the right, you get 21.81%. That's almost 20%. So that's the average as of now. So I want you to keep this. This number is important for me. Okay, this is very important. But Mr. Tyler is not happy about this. He wants to improve on it. He wants to say, no, 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 I need to improve this to zero point 0.3. So this piece 0. He wants to have 0.3 average. It's like 300 out of 1000. Now, what is 0.300? Basically means if you move these three places to the right, it's like 300 out of 1000. So, so that's the understanding part, or 30, almost 30% also. So how many times consecutive means continuously. So when he goes to bat, he wants to have consecutive means one after another. It means you can't miss. So can you just write here? Can't miss anything. Can't miss. Consecutive means one after another. So when he goes to bat, one after another, so he has to. So how many times write and solve an equation to describe this situation? This is a beautiful uh, creating rational functions. And look at this nice or rational equation. What does this mean to you? Using x for the number of consecutive base hits. Now, instead of 24 out of 110, at this time, a little pause. So the time I'll just try to show, but if somebody can create, I'll be glad. What you're supposed to do is our original batting average was how many he got? 24 out of 110, right? Now he needs to go and bet some number of times. I don't know how. Let x tends be number of consecutive hits. I will just try. Let's x uh, number of consecutive hits. So we'll try to add this. So he wants to go and bat X times. And every time he goes, he has to get a success. So you put plus X here. Look at that beautiful form. So 24 plus X divided by 110 plus X. And then he has to get an average of 0.3. So let's write this is the equation. So the question is write, so that's what we wrote. So this is the equation, and the second part is solve. All you do is use a cross product. What is that means is this is divided by 1. So cross product basically means you multiply this, which will be 24 plus x, because anything times 1 is the same thing. And the second one is let me use the blue color to show 0.3 times 110 plus x. So now we are going to use distributive property here. So we are almost done. I'll take one more minute. Thank you for quietly watching what I'm doing. Because sometimes if you don't understand, you can always check with the video, right? So if you multiply this 0.3 multiply by, so that will be the decimal one place will cross out this 0. Okay, so you'll get 3, and 3 times 11 is 33, like this. You can check with the calculator if you want, and then multiply this. So using the distributive property like this. See how beautiful maths is. Then subtract this 0.3x, because that's smaller to this 1x. So 0.3x both sides. And when you do this, this crosses out, and you're left with 24. When you subtract this 0.3, you get 0.7x. Okay, and the right side is 33, and then subtract 24 both sides. So this is just a regular algebra part. This crosses out and you get 24, 6, 7, 8, I think. 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So you get 9 and then divide by 0.7. Now on your calculator, can you please help me? What is this answer? So all you do is 9 divided by, you get 9 divided by 0.7. Do you get 12.85? Yes or no? Somebody saying yes. Okay. So that means I will take it higher. So he has to have 13 hits. So he has to go and bat and he has to get success 13 times. So if he goes to bat uh, and hits continuously 13 times, his average would be 0.3. So in the initially it was 0.2 something. So now to improve it to zero point 0.3, he has to continuously consecutive hits, 13 consecutive hits. I hope I made sense. This is a real application. And the last one is there's one more question here. Look at that. And with that, we end up everything. This one says, unfortunately, he gets no hits in the next three bats. It means in the beginning it was 1 1 this plus what was the 14, right? So that means I add plus 3 here. So he doesn't get. And now I have to put x and plus. So this is the beautiful form. See? So he went to bat and he failed. So this plus 3 is because he went 3 times and he did not get hits. So this 3 bats, so 3 times he failed. Because he failed, I have to add 3 to the denominator. And then you have to do this and solve this 0 to 0.3. So I want you to complete this remaining the so we have to solve this. So let me write this again on top here. So this will be 14 plus x divided by, and this 2 will be 113 plus x equals, and now you need to write 0.3 because we need to know even though he failed 3 times, so how many more he needs to consecutively hit to get. So that let me clean this. So this let me okay. So again, let's use cross product. So this is divided by 1. So 14 plus x times 1 will be 14 plus x, which is actually 1x, okay, equals, and you times this 2, so 0.3 multiplying to 0.3. Well, let me write one step here. So this will be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3. Plus x. Okay. So let's use the distributive property here. So when you multiply, you get 33.9. You can check with your calculator. And this will be 0.3x. Okay. And subtract 0.3x this side, 0.3x this side. And at the same time, I'll also do one more step right there by subtracting 14 this side and 14 this side. So when you work this out, this crosses out. And this is 1. So from 1, you take away 0.3, it will be 0.7x. And this will work out to be 0.9. 9.9, and then divide by 0.7. And when you do this, you get x equals 14.4. It means he has to have at least 15 continuous or continuous hits. So, and that ends the. Hope this helps. Uh, so I hope those students who missed this class, you will take advantage of this. And if you do not understand the class, then at least you can watch this video for some time, replay, and see how each steps goes.